minutes.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Charles Burglar. I chair the Land Use Committee of Community Board number 8. And this is a meeting of that committee. Members present. Do I have a quorum?
Hold on.
No, you don't. 1, 2, 3. We have 4.
You have. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you do have quorum.
That's good. Okay. You want to call the roll so we have it?
Yep. We'll just let people in. Okay. Charles Mardler,
Yep.
Marty Wolkoff,
Here.
Bob Bender.
Here.
If you could just sign in. Oh, yeah. Bob Bender is here. Lee Chung.
Yeah.
You're here, great, okay. Okay. Steve Matthews.
Here.
I'll put myself
Daniel
on
Rowan
mute. It's not on mute.
and Laura Spalter.
Here.
Great.
Chris will be here in a second. This is his wife.
Who said that? Okay.
I'm Michelle Cohen, but I have another meeting, so I'm here and he's coming in a few minutes.
Great.
Okay. First, get approval of the committee minutes or whatever corrections are appropriate. Any corrections, modifications, or the like? On the motion to approve, all those in favor? Contrary minded, abstentions, done.
Okay.
Chairperson's report. On the 30th of April, we will have a meeting of a working group of the Land Use Committee. I emphasize the words working group because inadvertently we sent out a notice terming it a subcommittee of land use. It is not, because it includes a number of non-board members. And that can only be done in the context of a working group. And why are we including non-board members? The issue first is the first time in approximately 20 odd years that we're going to focus on a specific plan issue in a specific area. Just so you have the background, prior to the last 3 administrations of the city of New York, this board was called the Community Planning Board. And the City Planning Commission, together with the community boards, put together plans for communities as to their development or the like. The City Planning Commission found that too heavy a task for it to undertake, and at the urging of a then commission, changed the name to to community boards, dropping the planning, and it dropped its own. Part of the problem, and let me just show you the contrast. When we were a community planning board, we wrote, we paid for the professional advice of architectural experts and put together a 197A zoning amendment plan that formalized changes in zoning to permit portions of the area up the hill and beyond the hill to various parts of the community to be rezoned so that they would suit what was hoped to be the development of single-family homeowners, of large-scale apartment houses, and the like, so that we would have some planning. We now are confronted with the fact, A, nobody does any planning, and B, very importantly, there's a demonstrated need to address it as shown up in Van Cortlandt Village. Under Marty's aegis and that of his colleagues, there have been significant efforts to understand what it is that is causing the problems that are apparent in Van Cortlandt Village, and whether or not that is likely to, and in my opinion, it is certain to, cause a significant blight upon that community. To enable us to do this more efficiently, we have asked a number of community members who are not members of the board, such as Abba Leffler, who has done a splendid job in putting together a demonstration plan showing what the heck is going on in that area, particularly in view of the abandonment of the area by the Van Cortlandt Jewish Center and its properties being acquired by developers who are embarked upon a willy-nilly project. And let me give you an example right now of exactly what harm is done. We have sewage, raw sewage in the streets in and around Stevenson Place because the SRO, now called a micro unit, didn't have the sewerage connection and the toilet connections properly made by a licensed plumber as required by law, and the sewage sort of flows out in the street. That is not how you plan for the development and not how you preserve the sanitary needs of a community. That's an example. It was not planned by us, but here's your
Haven't gotten dust
example.
yet.
These micro units getting thousands of dollars of rent a month for 400 square feet of space. 400 all in. That's unacceptable. That's what caused much of the blight of Manhattan in the 60s and led to what was known then as Baby Bird, and caused me as Commissioner of Buildings to condemn over 100 buildings in the city of New York because of the ensuing blight. So all of that said and done, that committee is now a working group. It will meet on the 30th. It will have a membership that you can get the names of the members from the board, and they have been notified that they are members of that working group. And anybody who wants to assist or participate in the work, more than welcome to participate. However, membership at this point, we're not going to try and make this a full board press until we get a plan laid out. So our primary function at the first meeting is to lay out a plan. That all said, that's the chairperson's report. The first item on the agenda, it has been put over. It is the Italian synagogue, which was planned to be constructed on Arlington Avenue, and that is over to the next meeting. It is a SNAD application. The second, and for those who are here tonight on that issue, that matter is over. It has not yet been addressed by city planning. The second item, I have a question for you, Farah. Has city planning certified that to us yet?
Yes, Camilla, you're on the call too. Yes, it's on our portal, 5211, yes.
It's been certified by CPC?
I believe so. Camilla confused me the other day when she said the SNAD, non-ULIPs are not certified, but it's on the portal.
It's a SNAD, right?
It's a
Yeah.
SNAD, yes.
Hi all, can
Is that
everyone hear
right?
me?
Yes, Camilla.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, Farah, so SNADs are non-ULIRPs, so certifying is reserved for City Planning Commission applications, so for ULIRP applications. What we do with SNADs is refer it out to you, and that's a letter that I sent you, I think, on the 8th. Yeah, so it's officially on your court for your review.
Good. Is there a time frame on this?
Yes, 60 days. So I think you have until early June, I think.
All right.
Thank you.
As you will hear that, I think that's the time frame is either gonna be, have to be addressed by the applicant, well, you'll hear it in a moment. Or we've got a big problem and a negative decision that would
Excuse
have to be
me.
made immediately.
Excuse me.
I don't know.
Um, this is Dolores Miller.
Well,
We just got a notice today about 4711 Arlington. So I don't want to hang around for the whole meeting, fascinating though it is. Did you just say that that is not going to be covered today and will be covered in the future at a future meeting? And if so, how will,
5204 Arlington is over.
not 4711? No, yeah, that's it. It's the, I'm sorry. I think I gave the wrong address. Apologies. Hang on. Let me look at this. I just got this letter today from them. 5211
sorry.
Arlington.
The site that is on is directly across the street from the proposed synagogue, which is not on because it has not yet been certified by city planning.
So we got a letter to attend this meeting. We're in the neighborhood. 5211. That's the development where they want to turn one house into three houses
Yes.
plus a
Yeah,
pool.
That's what we're about to address.
Okay, thank you. Then I
That's on, it's on.
All right, this is an application under SNAD for an authorization and subdivision certification to facilitate the development of two new single-family residences being sought by a private applicant at 5211 Arlington Avenue in this community board district. It is the property directly across the street from the synagogue. It is the former home of former controller Lawrence Jerusa. And what is here proposed, as I understand, but the applicant, I assume, is here. I see, yes. And the applicant will be making the application, is dividing his existing lot into two lots.
Does anybody need the
Yeah,
paperwork?
it still have,
You have it. Do you need one?
No, I haven't.
no, I don't have it.
You should have, no?
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
That's okay. Bob, do you have it?
All right. Is the applicant here?
Is that
Both
Yehuda?
the architect and the applicant are both here.
All right.
Which is the architect, so I could,
Mr.
It's
Friedman
Yehuda
is
Man.
the
All right.
applicant. He's on the bottom second from the, right, that's him.
okay.
And Yehuda is his architect, I believe.
Should I share your screen, Yehuda? Or can I?
Yeah, if you can give me permission.
Yeah,
You're on.
Okay.
Yehuda, I will
Yes.
tell you up front. I think you have a strong likelihood of applying to city planning and to the board to extend the time for the completion of your application. You will hear why after you've made a presentation.
All right, looking forward. So, if everyone's ready, I'll start the presentation.
yes.
All right. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Yehuda Man, and I'm here tonight regarding 5211 Arlington Avenue. We are seeking a special natural area district certification for a zoning lot subdivision, and more importantly, an authorization for the modification of topographic features. The 21,166 square foot site is located at the corner of West 252nd Street and Arlington Avenue. And as you can see from the aerial view, the site currently contains one single family home, and our proposal is to replace it with two new wood frame residences. By dividing this large into two, we are staying well within the R1-1 density requirements. In fact, both proposed homes are significantly below the maximum allowable floor area ratio. This slide illustrates the proposed layout for the two new lots. First, I'd like to speak on the subdivision. The current R1-1 zoning allows for a minimum 75-foot wide lot and frontage. And after collecting the data from the tax maps for both the east and west side, the most common frontage was only 75 feet. Therefore, the 75-foot frontage that we're proposing for the interior lot is in character with the existing neighborhood. Next, I want to speak directly to the authorization for topographic modifications we are requesting. Because we are introducing 2 modern residences and an in-ground pool onto a site with a 6.8% grade, the project does require a purposeful amount of regrading and excavation. The authorization we are seeking allows us to perform the necessary earthwork for the foundations and the pool. Rather than utilizing massive vertical retaining walls that would disrupt the visual character of the neighborhood, our engineering approach uses localized regrading. We are concentrating the excavation within the building and pool footprints, allowing us to set the homes into the existing slope. This ensures that while we are modifying the earth, the finished project respects the natural flow of the Arlington Avenue streetscape. Now, in the SNAD district, the preservation of the trees is a primary finding. Out of the 117 existing tree credits on the site, we are successfully retaining 94 credits, which is more than 80% of the existing credits. By clustering our topographic work specifically within the house and pool footprints, we are leaving the critical root zones of the perimeter trees undisturbed. We aren't just meeting the requirement, we are ensuring that the lush green edge of this corner remains intact for the neighborhood and for the privacy of the owner. And to address the excavation mentioned previously, our goal is to manage the displaced earth responsibly. Instead of an intensive cut and haul operation that would send hundreds of truck trips through Riverdale, we are prioritizing on-site soil redistribution. The topsoil and fill excavated for the pool and the foundations will be utilized to establish the new stable finished grades across the property. By balancing the site in this way, we keep 65% of the lot area pervious and planted. This ensures that even with the necessary topographic modifications for the homes and the pool, the site's ability to absorb stormwater and support the plantings on their properties remains. As an alternative, we can make the driveways permeable for an additional 2%. This would take the 2,800 square foot increase and reduce it by approximately 400 square feet. Now, within the sections shown, we try to make it clear that the site slope is maintained to a low percentage and the building heights are kept at 25 feet and 28 feet to keep with the character of the neighborhood, and that we maintain a large amount of green space for both lots. Lastly, and to conclude, this application meets the rigorous findings required for a SNED authorization under Section 105-421 and the R1-1 district requirements. We have prioritized the preservation of natural features, specifically the trees and the existing slope, to the greatest extent practicable. This project represents the responsible, low-density evolution of a large corner lot that strictly adheres to the environmental protections of Community District 8. And we respectfully ask for your support, and I am happy to answer any questions regarding the application. Thank you.
And before I call on the community people who want to speak, assuming there are some the board members, I have a couple of questions. As you point out, character of the neighborhood is an important feature that perhaps less so than natural feature that disturbs. This block has a significant historic problem with water accumulation running into the street and on the properties. What features have you incorporated to deal with the water problem?
So we are considering dry wells because, again, this is a SNAD application and it's extremely early on in the process of design and planning. So it's not finalized at this time.
That's one good reason to tell you why it's going over for a long, long time. Second, could you tell me where on this application I see a sewage hookup approved to the Riverdale sanitation district?
Given again that this is a SNAD application, the sewer connection is not part of the application.
Sir, I am not going to, and I can't speak for my colleagues, have sewage running into the street because somebody didn't decide to put it into their application. You're premature.
I understand that it's premature, but again, a sewer certification is required by the DOB for this application or for both applications because these will be 2 separate houses. So this is a matter that we will take up with DEP and the Riverdale Sanitation Company.
So when you do that, we will invite you to return, in my view. until that is done, I'm not gonna have sanitary, have sewage, raw sewage pour into the streets. You heard before the problem we have over in Van Cortlandt Village. Are you trying to contribute to that?
No, this is North Riverdale, not Van Cortlandt.
Okay. So I don't mean to give insult. I see your application. Not only does it have a swimming pool, which adds to the water issue, not only does it have no description of whether and how many natural features are really going to be impacted by the water or sewage thing, but no indication where the dry wells are. How can you submit an application where you know that it doesn't address the issue fully?
Sorry, what was the question?
Look, we were advised by the Riverdale Sanitation District that it has no applications on file or from you. In order to get a hookup approved by them, you have to first make an application. You have to have an engineering report that is in order. You have to have an engineering examination to make sure that that works. And from what I am told, the existing facilities there are not sufficient to support the kind of additional sewage from A pool, and B, another house. So you're gonna have to make major changes.
I understand that, and we will again start an application with the Riverdale Sanitation Company and work with their engineers in order to make this
So-
a possibility.
How
But we
long
do
will
not
you-
intend to increase the sewage issue in the area. That is not our intention, and we will make sure that we avoid that.
Mr. Mann, I believe you, but I don't have the plans to show it. I believe you have all good faith. I don't have the plans to show it, so I could see it. Because I didn't have them and didn't see it on what you have here, I called up the sanitation district to ask, is there an application? I was told not only isn't there one, indeed they wrote to the board on it, there isn't one. The whole sewage configuration may have to be redone for your area, which is an increased cost of some substance. And will you then find
Understood.
it economically viable? I
If
apologize to you, I don't make those rules for the sanitation district. Neither does the city of New York.
Mr. Mortler, I understand, but do you have a comment regarding the SNAD application?
Yes, denied.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, I will pass it on to my colleagues. If that is what you want, or if you prefer and you say you're going to do something about it, I will agree to an adjournment of this until you have the paperwork ready. I don't think city planning or anyone is going to take a look at it without having a sanitary hookup.
Understood.
Which would you prefer?
I would prefer to have the vote taken tonight, and we'll just move forward from there.
You prefer to have a what?
The vote tonight.
There ain't going to be a vote tonight. Because what would happen is I will adjourn it to the next meeting. Which is all within the time frame. That's why I asked what my time frame is. So would you like to work a date that you can get your application properly filed? Because what you're going up to city planning on and what you'll go to court on is on this record. I'm trying to help you. I must tell you, I have been here doing this job for 3 decades. This is the first application I have ever seen for dividing of the zoning lot and creation of an additional house where I haven't seen sewage connection. It's fundamental. Because it's not livable without it.
Right. I don't want to say anything wrong here, but again, I'm presenting an authorization for topographic modification and a certification for subdivision. That's
Well,
what I'm here for.
we're gonna postpone this till the next meeting unless my colleagues disagree. I'm gonna ask that we postpone to the next meeting to give you an opportunity to file with the Riverdale Sanitation District.
Okay, we will do that as soon as possible.
Your next meeting is May 4th, just so you know.
Okay.
But the full board meets the very end of June.
No, it meets May
No, it's
12th.
May 12th.
Oh, right.
Right.
Can we table this entirely until the proper paperwork is
Pamela.
filed?
Camilla,
Or should we ask questions now?
Camilla.
Can I ask?
Yes,
Can we
Yeah, sorry.
table this? Can we table this as incomplete beyond the 60-day period?
you could shoot me an email requesting that, and we could consider the extension.
Okay.
That's why I asked him, what date would he like to have that he thinks he can get his papers in order?
Okay, I'll wait for your email then.
It's up to you, Chuck. Could we ask questions? Sure.
Have them here.
Absolutely.
Do you want to
Okay.
hear from the community?
All right, first let's hear it from board members.
Okay.
Bob.
Yeah, I'm curious because this site is directly across the street from the proposed synagogue at 5204. Is there any connection at all between the proposed synagogue and this site?
There is not, but based on the pushback that we're currently receiving, I believe it's worthwhile for all parties on Arlington to meet and discuss and plan.
So it's just a coincidence that this development is taking place at the same time as the proposed synagogue?
Yes, pure coincidence.
Okay, I have one other question. You said you were considering dry wells to deal with the matter of water runoff. Considering doesn't mean you're committed to it. If you don't do the dry wells, how would you deal with possible water runoff?
There are other options, green roof and other water retention systems, but the reason why I say consider is again, it's a little early. We do have to finish the calculations with the engineers and DEP and also the Riverdale Sanitation Company. So, yeah.
Okay, but what the water, whatever water would remain on the site, 100%.
Yes.
In the swimming pool?
Hmm?
Could it be in the swimming pool or where?
They just said they didn't finalize.
Where would the water be?
The water would be in detention tanks or retention tanks, depending on what the stormwater calculations come out to.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else from the, yes,
Can you explain why you're cutting down the one tree in like the backyard of the new construction
Yeah,
house?
so we're regrading back there. So depending on where the final grade comes out to, it might end up burying the roots of the tree.
I mean, isn't dirt okay for a tree?
No.
Isn't the tree holding that dirt there to begin with?
is this tree extant or is it contemplated? What is it? Lot 151. Is that an existing tree?
Yes, that's an existing tree.
And do you have any plans to replace the tree?
Currently, no, but if the community board advises us to replace the tree, we will happily do so.
Yeah. We really prefer to have you make proposals that are sound and tell us about them. If you prefer government to give you instructions, that's not a helpful way of doing things. Because your client, who has a superb reputation as an individual, is not going to be in a position to put it where he wants it. That's the problem. If you're going to put in a replacement, where would you like it?
Honestly, I would keep it closer to the front of the property on Arlington Avenue. Because right now there's a gap between the two lines of privacy trees. And we're also removing that existing tree, TR1, that currently sits in front of the house, but will unfortunately be removed due to the location of construction. So one that is similar, or will eventually be in similar size, would probably do well on lot 151.
Would you do me a favor? You're going to be postponed in any event. Would you please get together with your client and find out what he would ultimately want, assuming these issues come up? So far, you've got three of them: the sanitation district, the wells, and the trees. Trees are very much SNAD. And the wells are too, because the problem that they absence causes.
Mhm.
And find out from him whether he wants to make a proposal or put it to a vote. I would be surprised if he got one
Got one what?
on this application. And what I'm suggesting is take the period between now and the May 4th, is it, meeting? And sit with him and figure out where you want to go and how long a time you think you need. We have a meeting again in June. That's the final before the summer, absent a special meeting. And the first meeting thereafter is September. He is observant, so we are going to work around the September dates that might conflict. Anybody else from the committee? All right, anybody from the audience or community?
Raise your hand. Good.
I can't raise my hand because I'm not on screen, but I spoke earlier. This is Dolores Miller. And I'm pleased to hear the points made already. Thank you very much, as somebody who will be living around the corner from this. The issues are flooding on Arlington, but the tenuous nature of the sewers around here, but also parking. With the expansion of SAR Academy, which is in close proximity, parking is virtually impossible to get on Arlington, on 252nd Street, all the way down to the Riverdale Metro North train station, where the SAR employees have taken over all parking spots everywhere. They park in parking lots, the grocery store parking lot, what is it, Skyview on Riverdale Avenue. So I would caution, how the additional parking for an additional home, but also during this construction period, is going to be handled. And coincident with that is the number of school buses that now go up and down 252nd Street, which used to be a quiet little sleepy street. Now it's as busy as Riverdale Avenue because of the school.
Let me make your point a little more forcefully. If the Department of Transportation in this administration continues to pursue the plan of the former administration by putting sidewalks on both sides of the street on West 254th Street, the likelihood is they will also at the same time declare a one-way street complex with 254th going one way and 252nd going the other in order to serve the Riverdale station. That will add to the traffic. Miss Chevlo, I hope I'm pronouncing it properly.
Susan Chevlo?
Yes, hi, sorry about that. Let me put my video on a second. Sheplo, sorry, it's rather dark where I am. I just had a question. Are there no side setbacks between the lots required in the neighborhood or in this particular area?
This is the corner lot. It has a different kind of side yard.
A corner lot doesn't have a side yard requirement. The interior lot, the minimum requirement is 8 feet, I believe, but for the interior lot, we're actually doing like 18 feet as the side yard.
That's the side
Between
yard to
for
the
the
north, not to the.
for the split between the two lots. So the house on the left looked like it butts up against the division line.
Yeah,
Does
so the
that
corner house will have the 8-foot side yard, and the interior lot is going to be 18 and a half, I believe. So there's going to be a 26-foot space between the two houses.
okay, thank you.
Forgive me, I don't see that, Mr. Mann. I'm looking at the second sheet. And as I see it, the lot differential is between lot number 150 and 151 is something like 8 feet.
Yeah, the 8-foot side yard on lot 150.
Yes, what's the side yard there?
8 feet for lot 150 and 18 feet 6 inches for lot 151.
I don't see 18.
Because the dots go like right through it.
18 is the distance between the structure and the property line.
It's showing both of those numbers, not that added together.
I see 5 feet between the boundary, if that's the black line, and the square indicating the building with a caption on it, existing block 5824. Am I misreading that?
Let me just share a high quality version so you can see
Thank
the
you.
numbers a little more clearly.
Look.
Oh, yeah, nice. You could see it on the screen, Chuck, if you want.
So is that an 8 or a 5?
8.
Do you have 8 on one side and 8 on the other?
18.
18, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Miriam?
Yes, hi, thank you so much. I just want to comment on behalf of a whole bunch of the neighbors on Arlington here. First of all, to thank you, Mr. Mordler, and the committee for your attention to this sewage and drainage issue. It definitely is a significant concern of the neighbors. There's a number of people on the block and directly abutting who've had really significant sewage and drainage issues, have spent a lot of sums of money to rectify as best they can, but very much the underlying problems, as you alluded to, are, have not been addressed. So, as you've cited in terms of the sanitary and other impact and safety, those are definitely significant concerns of the neighborhood. And as we've talked about a little bit as well, and more tangentially related to this, though perhaps impacted by the construction, the street safety issues on that block as well are of significant concern. So we really just want to thank you for your help with the community.
Let me make a point. I live about 2 blocks away, 3 blocks away. I drive through that block fairly frequently. It's got 3 problems. One of them I saw in the area more sort of opposite the foreign embassy that's on the block. Every year when there's snow melting or there's heavy rain, from one side of the street to the other, there's a pond. Number two, throughout this area of Riverdale, there are under the street, on subsurface rivers and waterways that should have been addressed by the city of New York decades ago because they were called to their attention. That's why you've had the street collapses on 254th Street time and again. The city has to date refused to deal with that. If you add to that what I see here, it's a problem. I'm sure that it is something that scientifically can be addressed, but it's got to be addressed. And if you think I was exercised by not seeing it here, I was, because I looked for it after some of the neighbors got hold of me and said to me, "Didn't you ever notice the water?" And there it is. Mr. Mann, I really, really suggest you take some time and think through this problem. It's a serious problem, and it will be compounded if you really wind up with 257th Street as a one-way, which I would personally find objectionable. Go ahead, Steve.
Hi, this is Steve Fruit. I'm a neighbor and a member of the community board, but not a member of this committee. I have two questions. One is that I had an understanding through non-official sources that at a certain point in the past, the home or the lot that is now being proposed to be subdivided was to serve as the residence for the rabbi of the synagogue that's being proposed across the street. And I wondered if you could comment on that, either Mr. Mann or the owner. Secondly, I wanted to ask for further details about the capacities of these two structures. I understand that the smaller structure is designed to be 28 feet tall, and the larger structure, larger in terms of its lot dimensions, to be 25 feet tall. How many bedrooms? How many rooms? How many bedrooms? Basement? What sort of design is anticipated for these two structures? So those are two questions.
So
Hi everyone. I'm the applicant of the record right now. I wanted to just address the first one. That's the one. The details of the application, I can't speak as well of the details. But what I can say for sure is that these are two separate houses that have no plans right now for the rabbi of the shul or the synagogue across the street to be living in. That's, I just wanted to clarify that for sure. There are no plans currently that's going to be what we have right now.
Mr. Freeman, do you have any connection with the synagogue directly?
No, I actually pray in a different synagogue. I can't say I won't pray there. Being across the street will be, I'm sure it'll be right across the street. But right now, I actually pray at a different synagogue, the Young Israel and the RJC that are more south in Riverdale.
And where do you reside right now?
On a street called Plowman's Bush. It's on 246th and Independence.
Thank you.
Any other?
Mr. Mann, about my question about the design, anticipated design of the two properties?
So the corner lot is a 2-story plus cellar construction. It's going to be Noah's main residence, and it's got approximately 6 bedrooms to accommodate his large family. And the interior lot house is a 2-story and basement, and that will be a typical 4-bedroom dwelling unit.
How many bedrooms in the larger structure?
I believe 6.
Thank you.
Do you have in mind any additional methodology for the drainage of water from that pool?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Do you have in mind any drainage involving the pool?
Not currently. We're still, again, early on in the planning process.
Because that obviously is gonna have an impact on your application to the sewage district. You will have an application to whatever water runoff you're gonna have on the site.
I understand. It will be accounted for in the calculations.
It has an application also to the issues covered by the natural area district in terms of the preservation of the vegetation on the site and other things.
Yes, the pool is covered under the topographic modification request.
Are you removing a tree that runs into where the pool now is?
No. As far as I'm aware, there's
What's the circular?
It's not Xed off, so that tree stays.
The
tree next to the pool stays.
Okay.
There is a tree there, but
Could you share
It's
your
not crossed
screen one more time so that we can know what you're talking about?
sure.
All right, any other questions? Okay. Subject to the committee's approval, I would put this matter
The
over.
Morgenthau just asked to.
She asked for this.
Oh,
yes.
So you could get a
Yes,
better.
Ms. Morgenthau.
Yeah.
I really don't have anything to add. I am happy to speak with Yehuda Mann about his application. And I'm not sure if community board members can share my contact information so that we can review and discuss what his plans are going forward. The property is a 3-bedroom, single-family home that was the very last home that was connected to Riverdale Sanitation, believe it or not, the very last one. So it's been a part of our record for a very long time. And the street, 252nd, as you know, runs right down into Wave Hills Gates, which have a tremendous amount of stormwater runoff as well. And the sanitary line that serves this property goes down 252nd, connects all of Blackstone Avenue, and then connects all of the Wave Hill institution. So it does have a serious capacity issue with regard to adding 10 more bathrooms and laundry facilities and a pool. So I'm very, very happy to discuss that with our engineers and with Architect Mann's engineers going forward. So please share my contact information with him.
I will do that, Susan, no problem.
Thank you.
Would you please keep us posted on the
Of course.
status of the conversation so we don't have a problem like the last one?
Of course.
My only other question.
Looking forward to working
is-
together, Ms. Morgenthau.
Thank you.
My only other question is, have neighboring property owners, including most specifically the adjacent property owners on Arlington and West 252nd Street, been notified of today's hearing?
Only those that are within 200 feet of this property.
Oh, I was directing my question to the architect.
Oh, yes, as Ms. Morgenthau said, only within 200 feet.
And
that
today,
would
we
include-
got our notification today that this meeting was taking place. So again,
But
appreciate your.
We sent it out last week. That's probably just the current issue with USPS, and I apologize on behalf of the Postal Service.
It was today. Thank you.
Anything else? This matter, do you want to come back on the 4th or do you want to just move it over to June?
We would prefer to come back as soon as possible. We'll work expeditiously. So yes, we would like to come back on May 4th.
Then if you come back on the 4th, we would expect to have a complete set of plans showing all of the dry wells or other provisions that are made, all of the runoff provisions, the issues concerning which we have spoken to over the course of the past 15, 20 minutes. You
That
want
gives
to do
us
that?
6
We want-
working days. 6 working days. Is that enough, Yehuda?
We'll
I
make
don't
it
think
work.
I can get an engineer to take a look at your things in 6 working days.
Okay.
Your call, Mr. Man.
Like I
Yes, I
said,
think,
we'll aim for the 4th and we'll be in touch.
We will put this on for the 4th. We will expect a full set of plans, failing which it will be marked off as not heard. So you can't even appeal from that. So you know. All right.
All right.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda. LPC application 404 West 246th Street in the Fieldston Historic District. Sidewalk paver panel removal. Somebody present?
Me.
Ah, okay.
Hi, my name is John Powell, and I'm the architect handling the restoration of 404 West 246. And we submitted an application to Landmarks to remove the flagstone sidewalk along 246th Street and a small portion along Livingston. And we're here to present that to you.
Go ahead.
So, what's the best way to do this?
you tell me, I.
Okay. So we're at the corner of 246 and Livingston. If you can picture it, there's a giant boulder around that corner. The house is on top of the boulder. And then there's a sliver of grass between the boulder and 246th Street, where there's currently what I assume is an original flagstone sidewalk that is in various forms of disrepair from the earth moving and from tree roots growing up through it. And let's see, we have pictures of it. Yeah. So the picture on the left is our property line. So we're closer to us, and then the neighbors on the other side of that. And that's the second picture on the right. The red shaded portion is our property, my client's property, and you can see the house up there in the background. Next page. Yeah, so these are just more views along 246 of the sidewalk that we're proposing to remove, and you can see here that the current flagstone sidewalk kind of intersects with the root systems of the trees along 246th Street. This is just a view of the corner of Livingston and 246, and then these.
Stop you a minute. Are you the closest house to the circle?
No, we're one over from that.
Okay. I didn't know whether there was something.
Yeah, so we're closer, for the train, one house closer. So there's a staircase that goes down to the street from the front door. And this is sort of the last section of sidewalk between the staircase and the corner of Livingston. The next picture on the right is around the corner. So along Livingston, there are just these flagstone square pavers that have grass growing in between them. And then this is a picture that the FPOA suggested we include in the presentation of the precedent for this sidewalk removal, which has happened in a few places along 246 and other streets in the Fieldston district. And yeah, this is a paver removal detail that Landmarks asked us to include in our application.
Put in there, but if anything, it's what.
So a strong turf style grass, which is what the arborists recommend because you can't excavate for a stable sidewalk there without disturbing the root systems of the trees. So what you would replace it with is like a fescue or a strong turf style grass that is, walks on, has deep root systems, is stable to walk on, and also is appropriate for the side of a road where you have harsh chemicals and other things.
Could you do this? Maybe answer this question. In the absence of some solid underfoot material, it would be probably quite difficult for people to walk on that side of the street. And you have an awful lot of daily walkers going in that area, especially around the circle. And could you provide some indication from the arborist that it is possible to do natural underfoot that would do it?
So the current sidewalk has, a base to it. But as you like, the base is not, it can't be deep enough that it creates a long-term stable surface without disturbing the root systems of the trees. That's the premise.
But that's my question. If you take this away, what can you put in place, if anything, and do you need to put something in place to ensure sound underfoot?
So that's a good question. I think the best answer that we've been given and that we've thought about is a strong grass. Something that is hardy, has a deep root system, is able to withstand, pedestrian traffic without damage, is able to.
Yeah, my wife likes to walk through Fieldston in the morning, and occasionally I walk with her. The broken pavement is a hazard, quite frankly.
I agree.
And if you walk through Fieldston early in the morning, as many people do, as you said, most people walk in the street. They don't walk on the sidewalk. There's very little traffic in Fieldston at 7 o'clock in the morning. People are generally out in the street, particularly if the pavement is broken up.
So you have been an expert walker on 254th Street among other places. Have you ever traversed an area where there's no quote solid unquote?
Yes.
Underfoot?
What the gentleman's speaking about, where it's just dirt, where it's just grass, it becomes awfully hard. It becomes hardened. And it's frankly much less hazardous than the broken pavement.
I know I'm the applicant, but speaking from experience, I take the subway I take the 1 train and then walk to the project. And this has happened in along Livingston, there are sidewalks removed. So it's sort of like when your walking experience is going from unstable pavers onto grass, back onto unstable pavers, back onto grass as you walk around the neighborhood.
Is there anything that?
But stable pavers isn't an option?
The issue with that is that you have to put in concrete formwork and create a base for it. And you can't do that around historic trees.
Could you just level them out though, as a, and then they last however long, because that probably hasn't happened in ever?
It'll last 1 season. No, I mean, that's how when you just put pavers down on grass.
Have you ever done this before?
The sidewalk removal?
Yeah.
Not in this neighborhood. I mean, this is we're here because of landmarks. Yes.
Is there a chance that you could possibly get an arborist to tell us that this is the way?
So the FPOA has consulted with an arborist, and that's what they've put on there.
I saw they put a letter of support in. You didn't know if they had that kind of conversation
with the arborist?
Yeah.
They did. That's in the letter of support.
Any questions? Anybody in the community? Any further discussion on the motion to approve? All those in favor?
So you have Chuck, Steve, Bob, Daniel, Laura, Marty, and I just need to ask Lee how she votes. Is she on here?
She was.
Lee, are you still with us? Okay, so I'm not
All
gonna
right.
put her on the vote.
Okay, now is that the same kind of application of 311 West 245?
This is 404.
No, that's a window. Yeah. Is the applicant present or a representative?
Yes, hi, this is Ben Jackson. I am the applicant, and my representative, our architect, Joseph Coble, is also here.
Go ahead, you're on.
Okay.
Window.
I will attempt to share my screen.
Oh, let me. Hold on, Ben, I'm sorry, yeah. Now you can.
Okay. I will endeavor to keep this brief. So, hi, I'm Ben Jackson. I am the co-owner, along with my wife, Anna Radowski, of the house at 311 West 245th Street, which is in the Fieldston Historic District. We are looking to replace windows in 11 openings of our house. We have support for this from the New York SHPO. Landmarks has told us that they've indicated that they generally support this, but it cannot be approved at the staff level, which is why we're here. And also we have a letter of support from the FPOA. The reason we're here is what we're hoping to do is replace the windows on the front of our house and a few of the windows on the side of our house to restore them to the way they looked when our house was first built. Currently, our windows are non-historic vinyl windows, which aside from being very energy efficient, are in some cases inoperable and even in dangerous condition. We have one that actually falls into our house during windy thunderstorms on occasion. And I have small children and pets, and so we're trying to keep them safe. The proposed windows will match the operation and configuration observed in the oldest known archival photo of our house. The only way that they will differ from the historic windows is that they have aluminum cladding on the outside. And the difference between wood and aluminum cladding will not be visible from the street, which is 60 feet away from the window that's closest to the street, and is generally preferred by preservationists like the ones at NYSHPO because it makes the windows much more durable and it makes them much less costly, which makes it actually affordable to replace them. So that is what we are hoping to do. I will try to keep this very brief, but here you can see at the top is what our house looked like in the early 1980s. This is the oldest known photo of the house. We have consulted every archival source we can find. And then beneath that, you can see what our house looks like now, quite a different window configuration. What we are hoping to do is just restore it to the way it previously looked. So I'm happy to answer any questions you have, as is Mr. Coble, and thank you for your time.
Questions from members of the committee? Seeing none. Members of the community? Seeing none. On the motion to approve?
Okay, so Marty, have your hand raised? Okay, everyone has their hand raised, so it's unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. The next. 3498 Independence Street, a residential universal affordability preference development project at 3498 4th Independence Street, HPD inclusionary housing program construction for the project intend to begin July 26th. Is the applicant present?
No,
Etsy
it's
is
me
on
and
the phone.
Steve Waldman. Yeah, it's me on the phone. I'm also going to keep this short as I'm only joining through audio. So this project is intended to...
Hold on,
Okay,
please. Does this
Where do we do it?
project have any financing
Where?
from the New York City Housing Development Corporation?
We're almost there, right?
No, they will, no, the owner
It's
will
Netherlands.
finance this project.
All right, now let's go on.
So we have the first page showing that it's a 7-story, if you want to discuss.
So it's going, yeah, so this project will file for the UAP program. The UAP program is a great program, giving you a bonus in FAR in exchange for you giving affordable housing units at 60 AMI.
Define
Yeah, so
affordable.
it's affordable. So these
Define
units, define it.
Hello,
I will
ma'am.
define it.
Ma'am,
Yeah, do you hear me? So
I
these
mean,
units,
define affordable for me.
Etsy, he wants you to
Yes.
define what you mean by affordable, if you could.
so let me explain. So these affordable units will be at lottery to a tenant with 60 AMI. So for 6 AMIs, or the 60 AMIs with the rent can be greater than 30% of the income.
Are you saying that the maximum rent for any unit in the building will have 50%, will be at a rate of 50% of the average 60% of the AMI? Is that what you're saying?
No, so it's UAP program works off that the total bonus needs to go for affordable.
Excuse
In
me,
this
it
case,
is like
they
an
only
echo. She's at the bottom of a well. Is there a way for you to adjust your sound? Or am I the only one that has problems?
That's why I keep asking.
Okay, we can't hear clearly.
you can't hear me
Yes.
clear.
Now we
That's
can.
better.
That's better.
It's better. So basically, the UAP, they took around 1,000 square feet of bonus, and only these square footages need to go to affordable. So we will selected 2 affordable units. So 2 of these units will be affordable, and for tenants at 60 AMI.
Are you saying to us that there will be no unit there that does not have tenants at the 60% AMI level? I don't
There will
think
be
you
2
are.
tenants.
2 tenants.
Two of all the tenants, 2 of them are gonna have
Well, how many
affordable
are in
housing?
the building?
Is that what you're telling me,
So
ma'am?
So for UAP, 2 tenants will be
Ma'am,
affordable.
ma'am, I know
However,
what
yes.
Are you telling me as follows? I just want the record to be, and let me be clear so I make a full disclosure. I am a member of the New York City Housing Development Corporation, so I know what affordable housing is, and I've been one for 20 years. So now tell me, are you telling me that out of all of the units in this project, only 2 are affordable?
So 2 will be affordable under UAP. However, this project will also benefit from the tax abatement, the 485X tax abatement, and for that they will give 5 additional units. So 7 out of these units will be affordable.
How many units in the building?
34 units.
So out of 34 units, 7 of the 34 will come at some point in time as affordable, and they will carry through all the bonuses that you have, right?
Correct.
And what size will those units be, the affordable units? How many bedrooms?
So for ours, I'm handling the UAP filing, and for that, it will be 1 2-bedroom and 1 1-bedroom unit.
So that's for the 2.
And what about the other 5? Do you have any idea? Just, I didn't realize it's not on this application.
So for the other 5, that unit will be selected at later stages.
Ma'am, I would recommend to you that you come by at the next meeting of the board and make a full presentation. I have to tell you, I've spent 30 years in affordable housing, if not longer.
There's not much.
This doesn't smell like affordable housing to me.
Yeah, we need a-
do you need the?
What is the
I read
maximum
it with you.
contemplated rent in the building? What is the maximum contemplated rent in the building?
Again, I can't hear you.
What is the maximum contemplated rent for a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, or larger?
So I don't have actually the rent with me, but it's around like 1,400 for a 1-bedroom and 1,600 for a 2-bedroom.
That's for the affordable.
Is that the affordable or
Correct.
is that all the others?
Affordable.
No, that's for the affordable.
How about the others?
The others will be regular market rate units.
So you've got 7 apartments carrying 20 some odd.
34 total units, 7 affordable.
When did HPD approve this?
So HPD is not, we started the process with HPD. We do not have approval from them yet.
Has this gone to
We're in the
HPD?
process.
Okay.
This has been submitted already to HPD.
Okay.
Laura. Is this an as of right project? Is this something that they
No,
need
they're
from the
getting tax
board?
breaks and
Right.
other breaks.
And what is the role of the board, if any, in this project?
Because HPD will insist on knowing whether or not the community board approves.
I see, so they do seek support or not. There will be a vote.
Advisory.
I didn't know if it was as of right or what the story is, okay.
I thought I saw Ted Weinstein on here before.
Ted, are you still here?
Yes, I couldn't hear your question.
No, Ted
Yes.
Weinstein, are you still here? Ted Weinstein?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes or no?
I just saw him.
Yes. How does this fit into the affordable program? Here you've got 2 now and 5 to come out of 34 apartments. What makes this an affordable project?
Well, first, she said that she's not applying for any financing from us. Now, I have to say, I'm not an expert yet on UAP. I haven't dealt with it that much yet, but UAP is like a bonus. It's a zoning program. It's not a tax program. It's not a financing program. And my understanding was that in exchange for providing a certain amount of floor area that would go to affordable units, you get the bonus of doing that extra floor area. But those units have to be income restricted. I also think that, and I'll qualify this, that I'm not giving the best exact explanation. There is a bedroom count requirement, I think, so that I think she said there's 1 studio and one bedroom, and
Yeah.
that matches.
And 1, 2,
No, one
bed.
right.
So, I haven't had enough experience with it directly myself, but it just doesn't sound like this meshes exactly with my understanding of the way the program works. And then the 485X, that's the replacement effect
For those of you who are not aware, Ted Weinstein of HPD is the preeminent expert in the city of New York and has been for decades on all aspects of public and private housing other than single families. Although he claims expertise there too. He is absolutely the #1 expert in this. Ted, could you take a look at this for us, for the board? Let me have a comment.
Yeah, I mean, she has to, see,
Tell us if it complies.
HPD administers the program, the UAP program. But again, and you asked if this was as of right. I'm not aware, again, I may be wrong, I'm not aware that it's discretionary. I think it's sort of like one of the programs where if you fill out the forms correctly and you do what you have to do, you get the benefit. Whereas actual financing is discretionary.
Correct. And I would say why we notice this community board is just because one of the requirements is we need to send the notice for the community board prior to construction.
I think one of the questions that
Would
the
you
board might
mind
want to
coming to the
know,
May 4 meeting and briefing us? I have to tell you, it bothers the hell out of me in terms of a long-standing proponent of affordable housing. Because it
I
sounds
think
to me
one of the things that the
like
board might want to
taxpayers
know,
paying for. Pardon me?
Chuck, if I can say something, one of the things the board might want to know is how much floor area is being gained by doing those 2 units as income restricted. Because that's really what
Do
the
you have
UAP
that
is about.
information, ma'am? Do you have that information?
You need square footage of bonus. I can give it to you.
I didn't understand what she said.
What was that?
Something
Anthony?
about a bonus?
Yeah.
Is this like
You
under?
want to know how much bonus we're taking?
That's not our legislation, they're doing.
Right.
What was that,
It's
Etsy?
an FAR grant.
Okay.
Be affordable.
What did we want to ask the,
How
I'd
much
like-
additional
I'd
square
like to know
footage does she get?
how much of the floor area, aggregate floor area, has been committed for affordable housing? You tell me what percentage?
Oh, 60% is the requirement of this program.
that's what she said.
No.
AMI.
No, it is.
50% AMI.
It's the
Yeah.
requirement of the program.
It's an average of 60%.
What about FA floor area?
20%. 20%. You can add it, you have to add at least
20%.
20%.
Yeah, and the income it's an average of 60% for the
Right.
affordable unit.
Is that 20%? I don't think 2 units out of 34 is 20%.
Well, is 7 units out of 34?
No,
The other
two
ones
now,
are with
5
tax
maybe.
exempt.
Right.
That's different, not the same UAP program.
Mm.
Could you be
Oh, yeah,
prepared to
7
come back
units. 7 units.
on
would be
May
20.
4 and give us the answers to those questions with some detail? Because I
It would have to
have
be
a
all
serious question in my mind as to whether there's compliance. Did I see Marty have his hand up?
Yes.
Yeah, at least 20% of housing provided additional
Marty.
homes are permanently income restricted to 60%.
Marty. You're on, but we can't hear
You're
you.
not.
It's muted.
You're muted. Marty, we can't hear you.
You're still muted, Marty.
I got it. Okay.
There it is.
There we go.
I'm just curious why this is being advertised. I came excited to learn about it, affordable housing, but this strikes me as not being affordable housing, but a subterfuge. 2 apartments don't make it affordable. And so I'd like a little more research into how they use the term if it's not really affordable as a building.
Mr. Leffler. Abba.
Yes, I had 2 quick questions. This is pertinent because we just heard from the previous discussion about stormwater problems in Riverdale. This site is mostly composed of pervious land and trees at this point. So how will, from what I can see from this proposal, it looks like all pervious land will be completely removed from the site, which also has a retaining wall behind it. And the Shalom Aleichem houses sit above that retaining wall. So what are the plans going to be here for handling the fact that there's nowhere for this water to go anymore once this building is built?
I have a question for the developer. On the left, on the first page, first picture on the top of the diagram shows on the left a staircase going up to something, must be some sort of a walkway. And to the right of it, what looks like another staircase, but fenced in. Would you tell me what the two are?
They go up to Cannon Place.
Pardon me?
Yeah,
Is
the
that the step street?
Shalom, yeah,
238 Step Street.
Oh, that's, is the steps
Is like a lot
integrated into this?
No, it's another building is in between, as you see. There's like a bodega.
Oh,
on the first
I
floor, and there's
see.
apartments.
That was my next question. What is the other?
That's the back of a building that like faces Cannon.
That's the back of the building.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
because it
that's
faces
right.
Cannon and the back of it goes downhill, and then this bodega is what faces Fort Independence there.
and then what I was trying to say is the Shalom Aleichem houses, they're not shown, but they're at that street, the gray street that's shown at the top. They sit right there.
What is the pleasure of members of the committee?
Is Etsy still?
Well, he didn't answer the question about his water
I know.
that Abba raised.
Are you?
I think any new construction would have to retain and handle any
Right,
water.
by
So
law.
they're gonna have to, maybe they want, I mean, they would, it would be nice if they told us they're gonna have a green roof. But at minimum, they have to do a
Well, they
retention
have to,
tanks.
they have to have.
And they have to collect it, and they can't just run it straight into the sewer. For
Oh, that's
one of
so
the-
Look at the
Well,
green.
They
let-
have to build retention tanks for the amount of the non-pervious, square footage on the roof. Like whatever amount they're building on, which in this case is that with that little backyard maybe cut out on the left. The rest of it they have to retain. That's also part of city, yes. Is now like they will have to. At least.
Well, they have
Deal
to,
with the amount of water that they are collecting on that footprint, which is the whole building.
Are there plans?
So they're not causing new runoff ever on new construction, which is the ideal.
right,
way of
their
doing
water
it.
has to connect to the existing sewer system. It can't run out on the street.
Right, well, no, and for rainwater, they have to hold it until like later or let it go slower.
Is the
So it's a delayed-
applicant's representative still
Immediate
here?
during the rainstorm.
Is the applicant's representative still here? Hello?
I don't see her on the call anymore.
But she just called. so-
She did. If you wanna put questions together, we can ask her.
Put it on for May 4th. I'd
And-
like to put it over. Anybody object? And tell her we need to get stormwater issue addressed. I need to know what the contemplated upper and lower limits of the studios, ones, twos, and any excess. To know whether you have two apartments leading the way for luxury housing.
And are we okay on May 4th? We don't have to respond before then?
Yes, I think like he said, they informed us now, but there's so much more information I feel like we didn't get yet.
Yeah, okay.
So-
Wanna
If
make sure we
they
weren't-
can't get it by May 4th, put it on for June.
Okay.
Well, construction for the project is intended to begin 7/26.
Oh, yeah, that's what they
Oh,
said. Thank
yeah.
you.
They'd have to tear the building down first, the ceremony.
The next item on
Like
the
a house.
agenda, I mentioned earlier.
It's just this brick, like two-family house. And then, there's the row houses next to it. They're gonna butt against, and then on that side, it's.
The next,
There's a space
and,
that they're gonna fill into.
and
Sorry.
the next item on the agenda is the Van Cortlandt Village Group Working Group. They will meet here on the 30th of this month.
That's a Zoom meeting, isn't it? Chuck?
That's a Zoom permitted meeting.
Permitted, it's both.
Oh,
If you wanna
oh,
come in
okay.
person. If no one's coming in person, let me know. So I don't.
Well, I was planning to come in person.
But I kind of.
Why don't we just do it by Zoom?
I was spending in person.
So
What happened?
Farrah, I was planning to come in person. Will there be people there in person?
Well, then I will be.
Oh, then I would sincerely hope there would be.
Oh, so let's
They
do it
will
by
have
Zoom.
greater influence on the body.
No, it's okay. If I don't want to make people come schlep out for no reason. So if you prefer Zoom, let's do
So
Zoom.
listen to you is enough for me.
It works on Zoom too. There's
Okay.
audio.
All right. Zoom it is. Can I just take the initiative for about 30 seconds while we're on the topic of the working group?
Sure.
Okay, I believe Deb Travis is on the call here as well. The Stevenson Place sewage problem continues unabated. 2 large trucks did show up this morning, and it looked like they claimed they may have snaked the service line underground, but as soon as they left, the sewage has started to bubble up, and it's starting to resemble the Exxon Valdez oil spill over here on Stevenson Place. I've heard rumors that this is some sort of temporary line that was put in that was approved, but I think the long and short of it is that the problem is still very much in evidence. We can all smell it very clearly. So I'm just wondering what we can do. Deb, maybe you have some additional detail that you can provide.
I think Chuck was about to
That
respond.
was
Yeah.
approved by buildings.
I'm sorry, Chuck.
Are you telling me it was approved by building?
What was approved? Oh, this temporary line?
Yeah.
I have no idea. This is just really urban legend at this point. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
will call the commissioner tomorrow.
And then can I just add that we have been working very closely with DEP and Department of Health. DEP can only send them a notice that they are responsible.
Then who knows?
The owner of the properties, that they have informed them, they must hire a plumber to do the work and repair it.
Licensed
Plumber, but DOH I've been speaking with, and they said they're sending someone over there to inspect because they can issue violations.
Who's DOH?
Health.
Oh.
Department of Health. DEP, it's not their line, it's the property owner's line, so they have to try to ensure they take care of it, but that they are responsible for taking
Is this a
care of it.
micro unit?
Yes.
Yes, that's one of the micro units.
It's the case in point for what goes wrong because, Farah, to your point, we don't even know who the owner of 69 Stevenson Place is.
Well, I do, and I
okay.
spoke
Is
to,
69 Stevenson?
She answered. She
and
knows.
he said he is working with DEP. They spoke to him, and he's just waiting to hear back from them. I'm just letting you know what he said, and that was today. So I did speak to DEP. I left her a message because I want to make sure he knows not to wait for them, that he's supposed to be repairing it immediately.
So Farah, I think you're I don't think that he's dealing honestly with you because I spoke to the Dennis from Innovative Development who is here today overseeing newer building at 3862 Sedgwick. And Dennis told me this morning that he spoke to the owner of 69 Stevenson Place. And the owner of 69 Stevenson Place said his line is totally clear. There's no problem with his line. And it's the DEP's problem on the service. So I'm just telling you.
I think he's confused, number one, and that's why I did say, do not wait for DEP, but they will call him again to make sure. He's taking care of it, but Department can issue.
I'll call the commissioner to
I think we're getting the runaround and I will say also for 67 Stevenson Place, that's the Van Cortlandt Jewish Center. They're the ones who own that. That's Denishon House. And Jack and Stu could really care less. I mean, that thing's
they own a substantial amount of what?
So the other site that's leaking is 67 Stevenson Place, which is Denishon House, which the Van Cortlandt Jewish Center owns.
Two properties.
Yeah, they own that, and they really truly don't care. I mean, that thing's been leaking for months. So I mean,
sewage.
It's been leaking for 1 month for sewage.
Sewage. Well, that's long enough.
Yeah.
Somebody lives there?
No.
Yeah, caretaker. No, somebody's moved in. There's a new caretaker there.
Otherwise, there wouldn't be sewage if no one lived there.
Well, they
Farah,
had it.
What's the first building on Stevenson?
You have 69 and 67 Stevenson Place.
67 is kind of the first if you're like on foot walking, the wrong
Well,
way.
the micro units is 69, just so you know, Stevenson.
Converted.
The micro unit building is the 69 Stevenson. The other is a one person
They like
residing.
67 is in the court, like as it turns. That's the old Dennis Shawn house. And my understanding of the conversation with Effie at DEP was that those two share a temporary line, which seems odd to me because that micro unit building has been operational and rented for over a year now. And so I don't understand why they would have a temporary line. And the Dennis Shawn house, has been the Dennis Shawn house for a while and it's slated for demolition as I understand it. So that's our worry is that the leak is substantial. It's a little bit of a lake in the middle of Stevenson. It's flowing down Stevenson to Sedgwick, then flows down Sedgwick all the way down to the commercial corridor. And so and cars are driving through it, construction workers are walking in it, all of that. And it's been going on for 4 weeks. So.
Yeah, children are walking through this, elderly are walking through this.
And it's now permeating our grounds because we're at 3850. It's getting into our grounds, and now we have a sewer smell in our laundry room. So we've gone and snaked our own pipes, and we're inspecting them to make sure nothing's infiltrating. But we don't know how substantial this leak is. We just know it's substantial enough to bubble and bubble for weeks.
Have the elected officials been notified about this situation?
Yes,
Yeah.
I let Jeff Dinowitz know. Yeah, I'm not Jeff, excuse me. Eric, his office is aware. Haven't seen no action from them.
Yeah, same. I also notified them.
This speaks to the larger issue, which was identified in the report from the Van Cortlandt Village, in the report. From the working group already about the inadequate sewage capacity. I mean, when you take a private house down and then you have 12 toilets in that facility, and this keeps happening and going, it's just insane how these are approved. In other words, if you have these kind of problems with sewage capacity, how are things getting signed off and approved, Chuck? Are the agencies on the ball with this?
Let me tell you.
Infrastructure issues?
The fundamental issue.
I know the answer, but go ahead. Tell me.
Fundamental answer here. You know my views on micro units or SROs. They are anathema to any neighborhood, anywhere in the city of New York. But please have the following tensions. One, why would you? Some of the agencies in the city absolutely believe that anything that can develop more housing units is a good thing. That's not wrong. That's not right. Two, some of the agencies, and certainly one of our local council people, believe that micro units, which we used to call SROs, are a very wonderful thing. And I have told this story 1,000 times. Before I took office as Commissioner of the Building on my first day, I met with District Attorney Frank Hogan, the legendary district of New York County at the time. Find out what, if anything, I needed to do. There having been scandals under my predecessor. He told me the first thing you do is go look at SROs, because they are inevitably a vehicle for either prostitution or for drugs or for fires. I went over to the commissioner of the fire department, Bob Lowry, and I asked him, do you have a lot of them there? And the largest number of fires that I have on average is from SROs. They were all over Manhattan. When you get off the West Side Highway, you go inland, your exit takes you through 95th Street. I found 3 of them there, I condemned the damn building. I mean, this is not good. And this is another example of the same kind of problem. If it is true, and I do not know it to be true yet, and that's why we have a working group, in major part thanks to the work of ABBA, who has been doing research on this area and everything else in this Van Cortlandt Village. So if they are getting $3,000 to $4,000 a unit per month, that's just obscene. So it is a problem, and April 30th, we will go into that problem and try and figure out how we get some statistical base to persuade, because there are people. The council person from Marble Hill, when we talk to her, I love them. Personally, I'd love to send every one of them up into her district, compliments of her. Let's see what her constituents think of that.
Well, you have tangible, you have raw sewage in the streets for weeks now. This is a major scandal.
I agree. Abba, can you take out your little camera and photograph the sewage for us, please?
I have some pictures too.
So let's get a few more pictures, Abba, all right? As
Yeah.
soon as you can.
And 311.
Is what I-
311s, people should be calling 311s, call Bronx
When I call Tignan,
media. I would just.
I did Department of Health, they can call Department of Buildings. DEP is not responsible for it, so they're not.
You know,
Why is DEP?
yes, but the reason DOB has jurisdiction,
DEP's
this
are fine.
has to be done by a master plumber. Don't have a
Somewhere in
master
between.
plumber, done. Number 2, you have to have a signed permit for this. If
You're
you don't have
responsible
it,
for your
done.
Yeah, that's why you have the special insurance.
Well, that's why they send those letters about the
Yes.
insurance.
All right,
Okay.
so that's where we are.
Thank you, Chuck. I look forward to that, hearing about that call.
All right.
Also,
There
if
was
you
something
have-
else somebody wanted to bring up in the new business.
He is here today. It's right here.
It's on the back, 3232
Oh,
Oxford
yeah.
Avenue.
Did you wanna do any kind of,
do
hold
it.
on a minute, Marty, did you wanna do you have any summary for the, Hebrew Home working group or no? Or there's hasn't been enough, anything updates?
Just
since?
that, well, they've already brought the heavy equipment into the site. And they have, I don't have it in front of me, they have a date set for the groundbreaking to start the project. And I don't know who else, people were invited to come to the groundbreaking. It's next week or the week after. That's all I have at the moment.
3234 Oxford is the issue, right next door to.
Right, that's me, and the issue is the 3232, he's right next door.
You're on.
Hi, thank you for having me, I didn't expect this is great though, thank you. He's a contractor has bought the property, it's a 50 by 100 lot, it's an R6 zone, as is my house and the house next to me. All the other houses on the block though of Oxford Avenue, oddly enough, are R5. So he was not interested in those, but when it came time for the house next door to be sold, he bought it, paid way over market value, and has, I'll stop short of saying harassing me to sell my house, but it's right on the border. Cause he would love nothing more than for me to seed my house, and then I know the woman next door, I know she'd drop like another domino, and he would have 3 R6 zone lots in a row to build who knows what. He sent me a picture of what he proposes. It's not an official, it looks good enough to like be scary, and in fact, that's what people I think have been suggesting to me, that when he shows me this thing he wants to build on this narrow property right next to me, 3 feet away from my house, right up to the property line, he says he can't build that, he's trying to scare you into something. I don't know, but that's one theory. But in doing some digging, Marshall Kaminer, I don't know if you know him, he was Bronx, oh, very good. He lives on the three doors down. And we've uncovered some other issues with properties that Georgie Bujaj has built in the past. Over on Vice Avenue in the Bronx. I think that's over by the zoo, I'm not sure. Properties there at 1147, 1167, 1161. Permit irregularities, stop work orders, high density of HPD violations, frequent heat and hot water outages, safety violations during construction, damage to neighboring lots. Same with the last property there. Now this property on 3234 Oxford Avenue, they did the boring test and it's solid bedrock. To build, what he proposes, I never mentioned, is a 6-story building.
We've had him here before, haven't we? Tara?
It says a different name. I don't know if we have, I have to look it up.
Look it up. I think you'll find somewhere over in the Marble Hill area.
Oh, maybe, yeah. I'll look at it again.
So I'm not sure what kind of damage that's gonna do. Pile driving through bedrock to the block and the Trafalgar House in back of us. The other thing he intends to do, and this is
Let me
hearing
stop.
him.
Let me stop.
Sure, of course.
I'm going to make a suggestion at the end of what I'm
I
saying.
love that.
We can't take any affirmative action until there is something contemplated that's specific.
Right. I checked and as of today, he has not yet submitted to the DOB.
What we can do is we can invite him down. Tell us what his plans are based upon the report we've gotten. Whether he attends or not, I can't pursue. But on the basis of your report, if I credited 150%.
Still, yeah,
It's pretty good.
The DOB told me pretty much the same. He said, look, until he submits a permit, we can't go
Well,
over
we
it.
will invite him for the Jubilee.
Right now, he owns only the one house.
Correct.
We'll
30
invite him for the
32,
Zoom meeting so that he knows he's under the spotlight.
That's all, that was the best I was hoping for, yeah.
Okay,
And you're
got
right,
any
the street
photographs
tree,
or
you can't cut
videos?
that.
Oh, the trees, yeah, there are these, one of them is on, it's not even on the property, it's on the city property.
That's a
on the other
street
side.
tree, so you can't touch it.
He can't.
Oh, yeah, fun.
He would need special permission from parks, and it would have to be, there's no other reasonable way around
Right.
not cutting that tree down. And then he'd have to replace it or pay into
He
a
would say
tree
over the
replacement
earth, I
fund.
imagine.
No, it would have to be like involved in the construction in some way. It has to be like a true reason where you couldn't just avoid it, because
sewage
you
line or something.
should be able to avoid cutting down a street tree because it's on the grass in between the sidewalk and the street.
That's one of the
in
trees.
front of the
Now,
house.
The other tree, and I don't know what this law is, but I looked at it and I go, gee whiz, that tree is really on the dividing line between his property line and the house on the other side. So I don't know what's gonna happen there.
We'll find out.
You would need a survey to
If he
see
shows
which
up.
lot it's really on.
Right. Okay.
These trees are 250 years old. They're oak trees and they're incredibly beautiful.
Yeah.
And I hate to see them disappear.
Well, and if he comes here, we will tell him the same exact thing.
This is great, this is great.
I would recommend
Right.
too,
Yes,
that you take a lot of photographs and video right
Yeah.
now of the existing condition.
Yeah.
So you have something to document.
Let me stop for a moment for your benefit. And it's on the record. You were aren't you from the Rudolph?
Yes. I was gonna ask.
So let me
get permission
talk to you for a moment.
Has your-
You have heard 3 examples tonight of issues that deeply affect every single person in this community board district in terms of the following. 1, there's no question the city needs more affordable housing. But what is the definition of affordable housing and how affordable is the affordable housing? This board has been on the record on that issue for a year. The only two elected public officials in the city of New York who have taken affirmative action on it are State Senator Jackson and Assemblyman Dinowitz. That's it. I mean, the others are sleeping. Why? Because flexibility is to the advantage of the development community. You heard one example of it for a moment. We're putting in 2 apartments, it's affordable. I know specifically of a building that is located in a very luxurious, very prominent area. Every one of you has seen that building at one point or another. It's got 8 apartments out of 200. It's affordable housing. The rents go up to $10,000 a month. Okay? Wow. So that's issue number 1. Issue number 2, you have the construction of SROs. They used to be called flop houses. Okay? As you heard the story of my direct experience as building commissioner with them. I condemned over 100 buildings because of that. That's where you found the vacant land that many of the houses were built on that were affordable thereafter. That's an issue that's starting to show up. And the third issue is the most important, livability. The people in that area, Van Cortlandt Village, are now in danger of having the entire neighborhood pulled out from under them because the city of New York doesn't know how to plan and doesn't want to. We were called the Community Planning Board. Whether you change my name or not, we are going to plan for our community. And if they don't want to do it, they're just going to have to deal with us. The question is the Riverdale Press prepared to join in our effort? And that is a specific on-the-record question to you. I can call your publisher. I have never had trouble talking to him. But I sincerely hope, I'm dead serious, I really am. We need your help. This issue needs to see the light of day because the people are going to get screwed. You heard about the sewage running in the street. I didn't stage that for this evening. I didn't stage him for this evening either. Our point is, we want to do what is best for the people of this community. We have limited power. And the only way that limitation can be lifted is you give it the light of day. You don't give it the light of day, it gets buried by the city. Squeaky wheel gets to be. Okay? Thank you. Your cohort has heard the speech from me before.
That's right.
Is there any other business to come before the committee on the motion to adjourn?
Oh, question. I hear the term Section 8 a lot. Is that affordable housing? Section 8 tenants?
No, the Section 8
Can you
is
tell
a
me the
means of financial support afforded for public housing.
Yeah. So New York City Housing Authority.
Yeah, NYCHA. A motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Contrary minded, done.
I object.